Hi all, welcome back to another draft, and we've opened another Bomby Infect rare, but this time we've also opened a very nice card that isn't, it's much better than Revoke Existence, so I won't feel so bad about passing the hand, and I think it might actually be the correct pick to take the Scrap Mounter over the Hand of the Praetors. I'm not too bothered about the fact there's a Galvanic Blast in the pack, because, as I've said before, I don't really worry with signals that much, because you can never trust that the guy to your left's going to read them anyway. And if I pass a blast and then cut red, then they should stick out of it anyway, unless they decide to splash it or open a Phoenix or something. So yeah, I'm going to keep avoiding setting myself into the 1 Infect deck and take the Scrap Mounter. And a pretty much empty pack. The safe option would, I guess, be take Silver Life Staff, but I'm going to take the Trainee because that way it opens up the potential for brokenness. This isn't that good because there aren't that many ways of actually pumping it. Most of them are uncommon. There's Velshock, Heartstoker, which is common, but then it's a pretty bad card and you're playing pretty bad cards in your deck. But, I mean, there's really nothing else in the pack that I'd want to take anyway, so yeah, I'll just keep drafting the red 4-drops. And more mediocrity. Don't know why I just pressed cost sort there, it's just instinct. I guess the options here are Arbalest or Goldmere. There's not really a whole lot else. I mean, Instant Infection's fine, but not amazing. And all the other cards are pretty bad. I don't like 2-for-1s on myself, and this is not great when black is normally for Infect. I think it's just much better in sealed and still not that good. But I also think it's a bit underrated. But yeah, I think I'm probably going to take Arbalest. This has gone up a lot in my opinion recently. And even though I already have 2 4-drops, I think I'll get the chance to get more Mir just because there are 5 of them and they're common. Whereas this is a 1 of and it's uncommon. Now this pick is actually a pretty big one. I mean, Cerebral Eruption, people seem to be split on this. It's either amazing or it's terrible. And Martin Druza, who probably knows a thing or two, said that you shouldn't, I don't know if he said you shouldn't play it, but he said it's unplayable. Because it says something like, if you want to flip a coin, then do nothing. If you lose a flip, then sure. But I mean, if you win the flip, you often win the game. And I think I might actually take it. Again, it's either that, a Mir, or a Barrage Ogre. I think it's not worth splashing and branching into white at this point, because the Ogre's about as good as these cards anyway. And I'm not a big fan of Rustic. It's kind of slow and it doesn't do that much. Yeah, I'm just going to take the splashy rare and hopefully try and cut red that way, even though we're passing a lot of red cards. And having said I'm going to try and cut red, I'm probably happy to pass a Flameborn Hellion. I think I'm probably going to take Scale School. It looks like I'm going to need Manamir even more at this point, but I already have a couple of defensive cards like Eruption and Scrap Mounter can bring you back into the game, and Arbalest goes better late game, as does the Trainee, so I'm happy to take Scale School, which is actually a pretty good card anyway. And not a whole lot, but there's a Soliton there, and having just taken a blue card, I'm more likely to play it, and it goes well with Arbalest. And it's also, as combo's also good with late game, so yeah, I'll just take the Soliton. Not looking to be Metalcraft hugely at the moment. And this would be good with Trainee, but I think the temptation to take Forge Masters is too big, just because assembling the combo will win you the game. So yeah, I mean, like I said with Heartstoker, it's really good with Trainee, but in that case you're playing bad cards in your deck, so if you don't draw the Trainee, you just got these really bad cards, and it's kind of like mulligans. And as we're looking pretty defensive, I might take the Sea Strider and end up playing it. Not a whole lot here. I almost definitely won't play Gear Grabber, but this might randomly get me at some point, so I'll take that. And I actually quite like Disperse. Which is better, 3/3 for 4 or a Bonds? Probably the 3/3 for 4. I really don't like Bonds of Quicksilver. I'd only ever board it in, and I very rarely do that. Bam, 6-1. Literally never played this card. Ooh, foil island. How lucky. I quite like the foil islands. Or the foil lands in general. I have been known to pick them up, something like 5th pick. Even though they're kind of redundant now, you got Zendikar lands, but still looks pretty. And what do we have here? A quick glance over tells me nothing. But there must be something. What are the options? Rare draft. Good with 1 card. Good with 0 cards. Move into infect. No, I'm not going to be doing that. Or turn to slag, which is pretty good, but I have a bunch of 5 drops. I don't really want to take it, but I mean, there's really nothing else in the pack. So, yeah. Take another 5 drop. I think Silvermere is just the card I need the most. It's the least powerful card out of the ones I could take. I mean, obviously this is good with a combo, and that's just a good card. And that is good according to other people, even though I don't really like it, especially in a control deck. It's only really good if you're, like, mega aggro infect. But yeah, I'm just going to take the Silvermere because it's the card I need most right now. And there's another Plague Stinger. And pretty much nothing for me. Could take a Snapcell Glider, I suppose, but it would end up just being a blocker most of the time. I mean, I suppose it would make my Forge Master a little bit better, and it's probably better than just taking a 2/2 flyer or hating a worm out of the draft. Twisted Image as well, I mean, it might even table, so it's not really worth taking it this high. So yeah, I'll just take the Grey Ogre. That does happen to actually be grey. Again, I might just take the Grey Ogre. Because I just, at this point, I have 4 or 5 drops already, and that's a lot. And I only have 1 Mir, so I just, even though this is good with the combo, I just don't want to take any more. And yeah, just bulk out my curve at the lower end. Still pretty much nothing. I guess Halt Order is fine, but not great. It gets better when you got stuff like Sea Strider, because you're happy to not play a spell on turn 3 if you already got the defense down. And this doesn't look particularly good in the deck I'm trying to draft, which is like a control deck that draws to combos or bombs. And so I think I'd rather have the card that works a lot better late game, because a lot of decks just struggle to deal with this, and if I pick up a Trinket Mage in pack 3, then that obviously gets a lot better. And Counterspell or Sea Strider? I think I want the Sea Strider more. I've got things to do late game, and I get a different type of counterspell anyway, even though I almost definitely won't play both main deck. I'll probably hate this out of the draft now. The Silk Core that I always get told off for not taking, or the Dragon of Thought that I might actually play. Yeah, if I'm going late game, Dragon of Thought's actually fine. The Twisted Image tabled as predicted. And the other one, how lucky. They're actually decent with plated Sea Striders, so I might end up playing them. Catch people off guard. Solid Ton as well. Deal you that extra 1. And Forge Master. I have so many cards that don't mind having their power and toughness switched. Arc Trail. There's really not much else. I mean, I wouldn't mind a Mirror and I wouldn't mind a Replica, but none of these cards even come close to being as good as Arc Trail. And the pack's relatively deep, actually. There's 2 Mirror, 2 Infect cards, Fume Spitter, Sentinel. Somebody might be drafting Metalcraft, in which case they'll be picking these cards up. The blue guy might take that, so I might actually table the Mirror or the Replica. Or even the other Mirror. I don't mind an off-color Mirror at this point. I just want Mirror, but yeah, they're just not as good as Arc Trail. And no Mirror here, but there is a turn to slag. And it costs 5, but I mean, it's pretty much the only card I'd want to take, because Stoic Rebuttal you don't get doesn't get played until the late game anyway, so you can assume that costs 6 or 7. So yeah, just take the removal again. And the Silvermere that I really, really need. I literally don't care what else is in this pack. There could be an Argent Sphinx and I might even still take the Mir. That's just how much I need Mir right now. So yeah, it's a pretty good pack though. Like Arrest, Mir, Cur, Ogre, Spellbomb will all be much appreciated in decks they're going into. And I'm never going to play Bard Battle Gear, I don't think, even though I've got Plated Sea Striders, but there's not really much else in the pack that I'd want to take. Like, this is good with Trainee, but then so is this, so yeah, I guess I take the Battle Gear, even though it'll probably end up in my sideboard. I mean, the Seal Core and the Invisimantle will end up in my sideboard too, and I might potentially play the Battle Gear if I decide my deck needs it. Looking at what I have, it's actually good with Trainee, Sea Striders, Scale School, so yeah, it's not terrible in my deck. And I also might get people with Twisted Images. More Turn to Slags. Do I really want more Turn to Slags? Not really, but I also don't want anything else in this pack. This card's way too aggressive, and this card is very defensive, but then not particularly good against Infect, and Infect is something like 30-40% of the metagame, so guess more removal. Can never go wrong with it. And I need the Mir. Now that I have so many 5-drops, I just can't afford to take the replica. Oh. Do I want this Riddlesmith? How many artifacts do I actually have? Not a whole lot, actually. But then I don't really want to play 2 off-colour Mir. I'm not a big fan of that. And I'm definitely not taking a 5-drop. Because I might not play the Trigon, but then I'll have 6 that I am playing. Even though you can consider these more than 5. Like, if you say 2 of these are 6 and 1's a 7, then you've got a better curve. But I think I'll take the Riddlesmith. I like this more than most people. I just like looting, I guess. And hate this from the poison deck. I've had Facebook flashing at me the whole draft because my brother's talking to me. I think he wants to test the standard matchup for our friend John Randall, who's in the top 8 of Worlds at the moment, which is quite good. I'm recording this on Saturday morning, my time, so I don't know if you want to work out what time that is wherever you're watching, but yeah, pretty exciting news this morning when I woke up. I saw my friend was 3 wins and into the top 8, and then he got his 3 wins after I sent him a motivational text message, so I'll be taking full credit for that when I get to talk to him next. But yeah, props to him if he's listened to this, and even if he's not, it's still a pretty good achievement to 6-0 extended into top 8 of Worlds. Not really much here. I might just take the rare. Yeah. I doubt I'll ever board in Mount Terrain when I've only got 1. And I don't really like off-colour Mir. I don't really like 4 Mir, but I might actually play it. I just took a card that I wasn't really looking. I suppose I could have hated the white one. Seize the initiative. Bam. Don't really care about people bringing in Blister Grub against me. Let's get some cards in there. All these bombs. Yeah, I started recording another draft just before this, and I was drafting a pretty good red-white deck, and then as I opened pack 2, I opened a pack with Scrap Melter and Phoenix, and I was just discussing which one would be the pick. No, sorry, I was drafting red-black with Double Grasp of Darkness. So I was discussing which would be the picks because of the mana cost issue, where Phoenix would be the better card, but the triple red might be awkward. And then before I got to pick, my Modo crashed and I missed the entire second pack. And then got crushed in round 1, obviously. So unfortunately I couldn't do a video for that one, even though it was looking like a pretty good deck, and a non-standard one, which I know most of you like to see. It was just a red-black removal deck, really, but unfortunately I lost it, and yeah, I guess I'll apply for a refund after I've done this. But it's weird, because my Modo used to crash all the time. It hasn't done it so much recently. Thought they might have started fixing the software, but apparently not. What do we have here? This is 23 cards. We're not including any twisted images, any disperses. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think 12 is enough artifacts to play Riddlesmith. So yeah, there's a question of what do I cut? I kind of want the Trigon of Thought, because my deck doesn't actually have that many bombs or ways of ending the game. So the only way I'm really winning is grinding out card advantage. In which case, I probably don't want this Accorder's Shield. I mean, I have a lot of defensive stuff anyway, so I don't really need it. And I might play a Twisted Image just to draw me into the Solid Song combo, or into or out of the Mana Screw. Or maybe a Holz Order is better than Twisted Image main deck. Just as a catch-all for any battle spheres they might have, or Wormcoil Engines. Even though we obviously didn't pass any because we would have taken them. But yeah, this deck's pretty bad overall. Looking at it, it's just not that great. And I probably would have been better off if I just went Infect, but oh well, I didn't actually add anything there. I pressed done instead of suggest. It doesn't want me to add. 9-8 it says. I disagree. Even though I do have the 2 silver mid to add blue, I also have double plated Sea Strider which come out early, and I don't need double red really until turn 5. Like, it's unlikely you'll play Eruption turn 4. So yeah, I'll switch that round and submit like this. See you for round 1.